Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on it's Monday. Oh my gosh. What's brewing? Yeah, that's what it is. Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are having a good morning. Hopefully you all had a wonderful weekend as well. I know the weather wasn't the most ideal for the weekend, especially yesterday. It was just kind of dreary all day long, cold, misty, cold rain.
Pretty much what we expected, though.
Yeah,
going into the weekend, it wasn't looking real good, and that certainly was the case. And now the rain is gone. That's the good news. But the cold, not at all. That's going to be around for a couple of days. Don't get too stressed on the cold. This is a 2-day deal. We're going to bounce out of this midweek. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the big blizzard. I think what will go down as a historical blizzard, which is right now taking place along the East Coast generally, from the Delmarva all the way into Maine through Boston. I'll show you the latest details on that as well. Monster winter storm event. We dodged the bullet on this one. We had our historic winter storm. Now they're having it north of us as we go through the day.
Yeah, I'm glad we are not a part of it. We were just watching some of the national outlets. They have some reporters out in Boston, New York, Philadelphia. Yeah. Looks like a mess out there.
It looks like Long Island will be in the bullseye of the 2 feet plus many areas. That's not drifts. That's accumulated snow, and then you add drifts, 3+ feet likely in some of those areas.
Wow.
A lot of lower New England, upstate or downstate New York City to the Hudson Valley as well. And then Jersey, they're getting hammered. Philadelphia's got a foot. I could go on and on. It's a big one.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk in a little bit, but we do have a story out of Duplin County. Yesterday was the final day of early voting on Sunday ahead of the March 3rd primary. So the last day to vote early is this Saturday, but in January, the State Board of Elections did vote to slash some of the Sunday hours across certain counties across eastern North Carolina. Pitt County was one of those. I believe Craven County was as well. But one of the few that still had these Sunday hours available for residents was Duplin County. So we went down there just to ask them a little bit about the turnout that they're seeing, especially on Sundays, and why they believe that they would like early voting to stay. Yeah, exactly.
Voting polls have been open in North Carolina for a little over a week.
My wife said, yes, they're voting on Sunday, so.
But anyone looking to vote on Sunday may be out of luck potentially, as some counties no longer have it. Duplin County had one of the only open early voting locations across eastern Carolina on Sunday.
Very excited. I'm very happy that they're doing it. So there are a lot of people that have busy things during the week and on Saturdays, but this is convenient, and I appreciate that.
There has been a lot of discourse about Sunday voting, with the State Board of Elections voting to eliminate the Sunday hours for 5 counties at a January meeting. Voters like Geraldine Rainey advocates for Sunday voting because of what she says is its place in history.
Early voting originated with older black people coming out on Sunday after church to come and vote. It was a tradition. It's not as much as it used to be, but it's still here. And this is Black History Month, so we are trying to get people to come out because they're trying to take early voting away.
While some counties say there aren't enough voters that come out on Sundays to justify staffing the polls, others argue it's the best way to help everyone feel heard.
Yes, I had, and I think how vital it is that people have the opportunity to come and vote early. Like I said, with people with their work schedules, and it makes it hard coming out on election day. So early voting is a key, I think, in getting the numbers that they really need to where the people's voices can be heard.
Voting polls have been.
Yeah, so it seems like they had a pretty decent turnout for Sunday. It seems like a lot of people were trying to get there in the morning and throughout the day just to, do it instead of going during work hours. Because
it's nice to have options.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. If they can do it, obviously, if the manpower is there, you have the resources to do it. I think it's always better to have more options than less, if feasible. Yeah. A lot of weather to dig into.
Right, let's talk about it.
I'm going to switch gears. I want to show a couple of live cams first, show you what you're facing if you're walking out of your home right now. I'll start you with a look. I believe I'm down on the coast, my first shot. I don't know if I got my.
If I can get it, hold on one second.
Yeah. Fusion 1.
Oh, Fusion 1 today.
Should be Fusion 1. Yeah. It's really clearing out outside. The clouds generally are hanging in, but they're going to break up as well. Greenville right now at 34 degrees. See the wind chill at 27, so you take about 10 degrees off the air temp generally for that wind chill. There's my coastal shot, 33, but it does not feel like 33. It feels like 22 out the door. And that wind blowing, whipping along, 20, gusting 30 to 40 at times. A wind advisory on the Outer Banks is in effect until 8 a.m. for a little bit longer, slowly tapering the winds down through the day today. New Bern, blue skies, 32, feels like 24. I think I've got, nope, that's my last camera shot. Headlines for the day today, cold and windy. Primary words you need to get in your head. Highs mid-40s, winds 15 to 30. AM wind chill 20 to 25. I'll show you wind chills here in just a sec. First I wanted to show you the satellite radar last night at 7 p.m. We were all getting rain at 7 o'clock, and then colder air chasing the rain, trying to flash over to view snowflakes yesterday evening. There wasn't much of it. This is about what we expected. I remember last Thursday and Friday on air saying maybe a few flakes in the evening, and that's about what we saw for a few spots. No accumulations, no issues there. And then we get you into this morning. Generally, the clouds thinning out. I think we'll be in and out of some clouds midday into the afternoon again, but no more precip until Thursday. All right, radars look good across the area. The last 3 days, rain totals, estimated rain totals, about 3/4 of an inch, give or take. There's a corridor between Highway 64 and 264 from maybe Washington, Greenville, Williamston to Columbia, Plymouth, of an inch to maybe an inch and a quarter. Excuse me. Otherwise, generally a half an inch to an inch as we head south. Higher totals to the north up near the state line. All right, there's the big monster, what will be historical winter storm for some areas as the snows continue to fly in New York City, all the way into Boston. Jersey's still getting snow. There's already 20 inches on the ground, several spots in Jersey, and the snow's still flying. Down in the Delmarva as well. Don't forget about those folks. With portions of Delaware showing 18, 19, 20 inches of snow on the ground. Blizzard warnings. If you're driving along the coast, from really Maryland all the way to central Maine, every single inch of real estate under a blizzard warning for that entire run. Almost the I-95 corridor really from Philly to Bangor, up to Boston anyway, and then into Maine, those coastal blizzard warnings. So weather impacts extreme right now as you get into eastern Massachusetts. And one of the reasons you see the greater impacts there, the winds will be the strongest into Boston. They're probably going to gust 50 to 60 near hurricane force winds potentially. And that will create major drifting, low visibility, dangerously cold wind chills as well, along with all that snow. The major impacts, that wide swath from really Jersey all the way into, I would say, at least southern New Hampshire. What a storm to the north of us. We're dodging that one. Air temp right now outside our door, 32, 33 degrees, some sub-freezing numbers, Kenansville to Jacksonville. Wind 10 to 15, 20 near the coast, gusting 40 on the coast, gusting 20, 25 inland. That wind advisory set to expire in under an hour from now out along the coast. That gust to 50, I haven't seen this. Gusting generally 40 out there. Coastal flood advisory will stay up through the day. Sound side risk of high waters 1 to 3 above normal. Northwest wind driving the sound waters towards the Outer Banks. There's the feels like temp. I showed you those winds. Feels like 22, 23 degrees out there. No teens. Close. Kenansville, Beaufort's at 21, 22. Rocky Mount 22 as well. Temp versus wind chill through the day. The 30s now feels like the 20s. The 40s later feels like the 30s generally. Subtract 10 through the day generally as we track those cold winds blowing on in. All right, take a look at the big map, stretch it out. Our big nor'easter just blowing up off the coast this morning, pulling away this evening. You can see the snow leave with it. What's left behind are some lake effect snows, an orographic uplift in the mountains. That little dip in the snow to the mountains, that's the rising air hitting the mountains, squeezing out whatever moisture's left over the next day or so. Tomorrow, sunshine, but still cold, less wind. We'll be in the mid-40s tomorrow, winds under 10. And then finally, I should say finally, a 2-day cold snap, but we break it Wednesday, as we'll hit 60, I think, Wednesday. So much better as we head into mid to late week. Watch that next low out west, approaching late week. I'm looking at Thursday, Friday, our next rain chance. Thursday morning may start dry, but as we get into the afternoon, a few showers start to move in. Right now it looks like Thursday night, best rain chance into Friday morning. All right, so let's say noon Thursday to noon Friday. Our rain window looks like it's gone by Friday afternoon. That window may move around a little bit. That's why I'm broad brushing it Thursday, Friday right now. The good news with the rain, usually when we get a cold front rain like that, it gets much colder behind the rain. Not this time. That Canadian air staying up there. So just drier air coming in behind the front. That means 60 should stay with us for the weekend. Overnight lows. We've got freezing temps tomorrow morning. A lot of daffodils, tulips, people call them each one, popped up in my yard all over the place over the weekend. They might take a little hit tomorrow morning at 28 degrees. A lot of little tender shoots coming up early with that little warm stretch we had prior to today. And again, rain late week, folks, but we dodged the snow bullets, the historical snow bullets. Amazing. We had our historical snowstorm here a couple of weeks ago. This one, I think, will show up in some of the old meteorology books, the updated ones, the storm of 2026, or the blizzard. With that long a stretch of blizzard warnings from the Delmarva all the way to Maine, and what will end up being 2-foot plus snow totals over many areas.
Well, now I'm getting concerned. Was Phil right all along in his forecasts?
Let's not give Phil credit yet. Short term, maybe.
It's still early.
Let's hope he fails by the time we get 3 weeks out.
Oh,
we are going to start getting warmer soon.
That's great. Yeah, at least this little cold snap we have here. Hopefully this cold snap just stays here. No. The 60s are coming. Thank you, Jim, for the 60s.
We might hit 70 Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I forecasted 68 there with that rain chance. So we warm up. And then the weekend, I think the big thing for me is the weekend is not going to get a lot colder. Usually when I'm forecasting a cold front, we'll drop 20 degrees this time of the year. Not with this one. We should be okay into the weekend. We deserve a good weekend. It looks like we'll get it. That's
what I was going to say after this weekend. I mean, we've had plenty of weekends the past 2 months that have just been constantly.
Throw us a bone over here.
Oof, yeah, please. All right. Well, I just want to say hello and good morning to everyone joining us this morning. Good morning to Shelba. And then Patty, it looks like she's in Kansas City. Cold there. We're also cold here.
Yeah, Kansas City missed the snow.
Which is good.
But they've certainly got the cold air over there, I'm sure Patty can attest to. But man, oh man, no picnic here either, with wind chills in the low 20s headed out the door this morning.
And Quincella, good morning to you as well from Rocky Mount. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to be back again at 8 a.m. for another news and weather update. Hope you can join us then. Have a good one.